Really good to be back here on site for another one of these events.
How and why did you decide and to get involved in this project?
And I mean, it's just such a awesome space in general. So, and then I was like, you know what, fuck it. That's the concept we're running. We're just gonna go with that.
One thing just led to another. He said, hey, yeah, like, and we're just like, yep, fuck it. It's a great little place. As for what we can do in the future, I mean, there's so many different things we can do.
What sort of feedback have you been getting from people?
So it's definitely a good place to have like music. That's just a cool little feature that we discovered just because of the geometry of it. It just makes the high frequency sound really cool.
Well, thanks you guys for talking to me.
Yeah, thanks, man. Yeah, you have been one of our #1 customers actually, which is funny.
And thanks everyone for watching, and make sure you visit the dome if you see it at your next doof. All the best. Hello everybody from Art Valley Festival 2023-24, New Year's Eve. Happy New Year everybody, Happy New Year to you, brother. Please introduce yourself.
Hey guys, I'm Adz, Adrian, everyone calls me Adz. I'm one of the co-founders of the ICOSA Dome Space, which you can see right behind you. And yeah, the ICOSA Dome Space is just an awesome space where we just do some concepts in there. At the moment we are running a cinema, and the idea is just basically bring the comfort of a cinema and all of that to an event, obviously multi-day event, and just provide a source of entertainment that is not overstimulating and can just be even a sanctuary away from the sanctuary, because we come here, which we come to these events and this is our escape, this is our sanctuary, but even here it can get a bit full on, and this just provides a sanctuary within the sanctuary, and from all accounts I guess people just feel the same way.
So how did the idea come up for this project?
I think about this a lot. I feel like the idea itself, it's not a new one per se. I feel like a lot of people, at least for the concept we're running at the moment, the cinema, a lot of people have probably thought, hey, like a cinema at a doof at an event, that's a good idea. Like maybe someone should do that, but it's just never really been done. Or if they've been done, they're not fully optimized. And we bought the dome, and the intention was to have it for our own events. And I mean, it's just such a awesome space in general. So naturally it went from it's going to be for us to, man, like the community needs this, and it does. Everyone, like especially the crew. We get people, different crew every time, and they basically say the same thing. Like they get in there, they do the build of us, and they go, wow, like this is just like actually quite necessary. And when you do go in, you do feel that. You do feel like, whoa, like why has this not been done before, sort of thing. And it was about maybe, I want to say about a year ago, maybe even 14 months ago, where the actual idea to do it, like officially go for it, I was at an event, and I was just at the dance floor and I was having the best time, and then it was getting a bit late. I didn't want to keep going, but I knew I wasn't done. And I basically turned around and there wasn't much else to do. And so my choices were to go hard, screw myself over for the next day, or call it a night and just be still stimulated, but with nothing to do. And I literally went to my tent. I just happened to have The Matrix downloaded, and I just sat there on my phone and watched it. And it was great, but it was like, I was in a tent, I was like, it's not that great. And then I was like, you know what, fuck it. I mean, I think we're getting this dome. That's the concept we're running. We're just gonna go with that. And we've just been building it slowly ever since. Got a nice, pretty big 180-inch screen. We've just upgraded our projector, so we've got a 4K projector, laser. It's awesome. So everything in there is just, well, at least we're trying to have the best of the best. So you just walk in and it's like, holy crap, like, this is actual cinema. Like, we have cinema stacks in there as well. It's a cinema. It's a full-on cinema. Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, I never appreciated the value of cinema at Adz until I experienced it myself for the first time last Art Valley. That was something next level. What sort of feedback have you been getting from people?
So one specific thing that I've been getting, that when people say it, it really just hits home with me. And they say the word cozy, and cozy is the specific word that I was going for when I did the decor anyway. So just every part in there is just built. It is all just a culmination of, here we go, here's the man himself. Yeah, it is. All the decor is just a culmination of, I guess, ideas and things put together in my brain to create the vision. And it's just basically, yeah, like as cozy as I can make it. And yeah, everyone comes in and they say, just what I said earlier, like, this is, like, we kind of need this, you know? It just provides a sense of entertainment. It just does so much that, you know, the dance floor has its place, but as far as, you know, the actual event goes, you need more than just a dance floor, and everybody feels the same way about it, and it's just across the board, everyone says the same sort of thing. Yeah.
How you doing, brother? Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, bro. Really good to be back here on site for another one of these events. Yeah, this is, I think, the fifth time maybe into this site, maybe. Second time as someone actually working here. And as you can see, yeah, we've been doing the dome, and everything's just getting smoother every time we do it here and every time they run this party. So this weekend has been really, really good, actually. No complaints. Everything was perfect, I feel. Yeah.
So Adz was telling me earlier how the idea about the dome came to him. How and why did you decide and to get involved in this project?
Actually, I mean, I used to run doofs in the past, as you know, Illogical. So I'd already had exposure to, you know, being involved and running things. And I've always loved, like, dome spaces. Like, I've seen them around in certain places. The last event that I did, they had on their property a dome that was already constructed. It was like a 4.5 meter. And I remember just going inside there. It was such a cool space. Like, everything was set up so nicely. And I've seen the other spaces people have, like marquees, stretch tents, stuff like that. But just a dome just seemed different. So yeah, I've always wanted one, and you know, as I got speaking to Adz, we got talking, and he has mentioned how he has always wanted to get involved, like run events, you know, get spaces, whatever. And then one thing just led to another. He said, hey, yeah, like you know, maybe we should get a dome. And I don't specifically remember how we found this particular dome. Do you remember? I don't remember.
Beats me.
Well, somehow we found this dome. You know, we found a guy who builds domes, and you know, we thought about it for a long time. We drove all the way up to Byron, actually, to get this dome from a guy who builds domes. So it's fully Australian made. He's been, you know, building domes for 20 years. And we're just like, yep, fuck it, let's pull the trigger. Let's see if we can take this to event spaces and do this. So the rest is history, really. Yeah.
So how has it been for you guys in terms of going to events so far?
So
a lot of interest in it, or what's the...
A lot of interest. I mean, we sort of thought, basically, we'll run this we'll try after a year, we'll go to some small events, and maybe after, if everything goes well, if there's really no hiccups along the way, we'll try and start to approach the bigger events and go for the bigger events. And we did Art Valley first, I mean, obviously, there's always a few little hiccups. Like you just when you're trying to do something for the first time, it's never going. Very rarely it goes everything correctly, and then when you're trying to do a whole new thing that's basically never been done, even more so. But it went very well, and then our second event was subsonic, which was just major for us because that's what we intended to try to approach after a year. And we thought maybe that wouldn't even happen. We thought we'd give it 2 years. So, you know, subsonic, they were awesome. They're just so easy to work with, and now that we've had that under our belt, we've had the experience from both the, you know, sort of events we're at now and the other side of the scale. And yeah, like we have had a lot of interest, and it's really like a snowball. It's quite incredible. Like we are just, it has evolved so quickly, and this really is just the start of it. So we basically, after 2 years is when we're looking to potentially do the next sort of concepts and all that. But because we've already aligned sort of subsonic and a few other ones potentially in the future, like it's sort of already looking like we can evolve again. Like it's just evolving insanely quickly, which is awesome. It's just amazing.
Evolving in what way? Like a second dome or bigger dome, or what?
Well, I think our vision behind the original thing was that, like, from both of our experiences going to different doofs and, you know, going to festivals and stuff, we kind of like saw that there was a niche in doofs which wasn't being filled, which was having like a sort of a secondary space where people can actually relax, talk to their friends, be entertained, you know, like watch movies, you know, and as we've done that, we've realized the dome can do many other things, like kick-ons. We had a big like rave in there for kick-ons last night. We can run a shop in there now, you know, and obviously workshops in the day. So yeah, for me, I think that's what makes a more balanced weekend, is having that all of that extra stuff on top is just turns it from just a party where everybody, their only choice is being at the campsite or at the main stage, you know, keep partying. It's nice to have something as a middle ground in between. Yeah, but as for what we can do in the future, I mean, there's so many different things we can do. You know, we can expand the sides of the dome to get more workshop space. You know, we can work on actually making it into a little stage as well, which is one thing we've thought about. A lot of ideas in the pipeline. I think Adz, you might have had some other ideas as well about what we could do with the dome.
Yeah, when it does come to the vision of ICOSA, I've got quite a few in the piggy bank. Some of them are quite very, very big projects, so they may not happen because it would some of them might not even be possible, but they are quite the vision.
Like was sending a dome to the moon or something.
I will hint at one, but one of them will be an art gallery where it's just no longer just your standard run-of-the-mill art gallery. Many times you go into an art gallery and you'll just find that it's just art on walls, and they're great, don't get me wrong, but I would like to create an art gallery where the actual space itself is an art piece. I can't dive too deep into how that's going to happen because it's a concept that I actually don't know. It's like in theory, but if it does, essentially you walk in, the whole dome itself will be a part of the actual art that's in there. And I suppose in my mind, if it's anything like how this worked out, the vision of the concept of the cinema, then this vision of this art gallery will also hopefully blow people away. That one was supposed to be around the 2 to 3 year mark to start integrating that, but we may look at doing it soon. Yeah.
And the name ICOSA, what does it mean, and how did you guys come up with it?
So the name ICOSA, it comes from icosahedron, which is a 20-sided shape which the dome is based on. So the dome has more than 20 like sides, but like that's because it's a higher resolution version of a a bigger shape, which would just be a 20-sided icosahedron. And a fun fact about it, an icosahedron is one of the Platonic solids. So Plato, back in the day, he came up with the idea that there was a shape which represented each of the elements of the universe. So the pyramid is fire, and then you've got you just got the different elements, and then this one, the icosahedron, represents water, because it's the most sides, it rolls the most easily. So it's just a fun little fact. So yeah, icosahedron is where that comes from. Yeah.
Guys, and so where is your next event? Do you know where you're taking it?
Yeah, so the next event will actually be our own event, which is Puzzles Connect, and that will be in February 23, so just a few months away. We'll be doing the cinema again, likely be a kick-ons again in there, and yeah, it's just going to be just another event, just another event, and we're hoping that we can just kick ass with it, just like we've kicked ass at the Dome.
Are you saying music is going to stop early at that event too?
On one of the days, yes. Yeah. I feel like it's not everyone agrees, but I feel like at least one intermission based just on more of a safety sort of thing. I feel like people do need to have rest. I think that's an important part. I mean, I'd personally love the music to go on forever, but I also know myself, I can't party on forever. So that's literally the only reason. But yeah, there's always going to be a kick-ons.
So do you guys have like divided specific like roles and responsibilities as to what you do, or does it sort of happen? You play it by ear, or are there particular tasks that each one of you separately responsible?
Yeah, it's kind of happened like organically actually, because we both have kind of different skill sets or experiences from what we've done. For me, these days, I will do like the AV stuff on site. That's kind of like where I've got a bit of skills. Like I work in a music store, and I've run some booths before, so like I've got a bit of hands-on experience with the AV stuff, as well as like good like organizational skills with the spreadsheets and stuff like that. Adz can tell you about his sort of like his experience and what he does as well. But yeah, those are the things I mainly do, like a lot of the spreadsheets and like I got some good systems in place for when I've organized stuff in the past. So yeah, a bit of admin, a bit of AV stuff. That's probably my area of speciality, yeah.
What is your sort of area of responsibility? And I'm also curious, who chooses the movies?
When it comes to the movies, it's sort of a crowdsourced thing, to be honest. We obviously start with what we think is, what we think we'd like to put on ourselves. And then we sort of just see what people like. And what seems to be the most popular is like just things that hit home and that everybody just, if they know the words, if it's a movie that people know the words to, that seem to be the ones that people just love. For example, Shrek. Like Shrek is just, every time we put Shrek on, they love it. But we would like to step into more dynamic sort of things, give it a try. But yeah, we sort of just play that by ear. And when it comes to our responsibilities, so another thing that Lorin does, he takes the cake for that one, is he deals with most of the media stuff. And then when it comes to on-site stuff, that's where I step in. I've got a trade background, and so when it comes to assembling the dome, that's basically all on me, because it's not hard per se, but you need to understand it, because if you get this, I think 600 struts and 150 triangles and there's pentagons and hexagons, and it can get confusing very quick, and if you get one wrong, you're just not going to work out. So yeah, I take basically all build. I allocate the shifts for the crew we have. I make sure they're on shift and just checking in. We both sort of just monitor the entire time. And yeah.
Oh, how many people does it take to put it together, and how long?
Depending on who we have, if we have sort of other people that have been involved in trade or just hands-on and can figure it out, it would take 6 people. We could get the assembly up, so frame plus cover, in about 5 hours tops, and then obviously all the interiors that takes, like, depending on how we're doing it, could be anywhere from 2 to another 5 hours. If we have people that are really new and just don't know what they're doing, and they help a lot, it's just the people that obviously know how to do more stuff, it just happens quicker, then it can take up to 8 hours. But if we had sort of like 5 of myself who just knows where everything goes, where everything correlates, then you could probably get it up in around 3 hours. And I will also say this: the guy who builds it, he can get it up in an hour. Yeah.
In an hour?
He also, not in an hour, but he can also assemble it by himself. Yeah. Yeah, don't ask me how, but he is the dome god. He just knows it inside out.
Oh, that's awesome, guys. So is there anything else you would like to add about this ICOSA Dome project that I haven't asked you yet?
In terms of like what we're doing with the dome?
Yeah, anything that you'd like to add about it?
I mean, I think like just stay tuned to our Instagram. Our Instagram is at. We like to do little stories about what we've been doing out in the bush, which gives people a little insight on like that they may not usually see on what's going on in the background of an event, the build, whatever. Like to just talk about experiences and just kind of show what's happening. We're always doing new things with the dome. Like we held a kick-ons rave in the dome for the first time ever, last night. And that was fucking awesome. That was just like, such creative satisfaction seeing that dome as a rave space as well. So yeah, we're always going to be doing new things with it. Adz is obviously starting his own doof as well, so that's all going to like synergize with the dome stuff as well. So I would definitely follow him as well. What's the Instagram for your?
It's puzzles.rec. So rec as in records, but yeah, so just puzzles.rec.
Puzzles.rec. Also wanted to ask about the dome, the acoustics. What can you? It seems like there is like, it sounds quite different. What can you comment about that? The acoustics. Who would like to?
Yeah, so with the acoustics of the dome, because it's like it's high-sided and it has the double layer nylon. The high frequencies are reflected from everywhere around you. So if you stand in the middle or somewhere around the middle, the high frequencies sound very exciting. So it sounds like the music's very crisp and it sounds really cool. So it's definitely a good place to have like music. That's just a cool little feature that we discovered just because of the geometry of it. It just makes the high frequencies sound really cool. So it's a great little place to do an event or whatever.
Adz, anything else you would like to add to the?
No, I think like Lorin's pretty much covered it all. Yeah, just like stay tuned for what we got, because there's a few in the piggy bag. It is going to be a long, it's going to be a long time before all of these things happen. But we'll be putting it through its paces in the meantime, and as well, another thing to remember about ICOSA is, generally you think of a dome as a space. We want to sort of push the idea of ICOSA being a concept, because you walk into the ICOSA Dome and it's not just a space. Like every time you go in there, it's a concept you've never seen before. We don't really let other people sort of take it, because like I said, it's just got to be, when you walk into, if you walk into the dome, every time it's going to be something like crazy. So, yeah.
Guys, what are the chances that we can turn it into a strip club one day?
Look, I'm sure you've got some connections somewhere. Maybe we all do.
Is we can install the pole in the middle if it be?
Actually, it's funny you mentioned that.
The strip club. Doof strip club.
Renegade stripper poles. Yeah, I can see it happening.
To be honest, somebody has actually asked me that question before. Because we do workshops in the dome, obviously, like somebody has asked if they can do a pole workshop. It's very possible, like you could turn it into a whole burlesque theme place. Really, like that's the thing. Once you have a space, you start to realize you can really do anything in it. Just the sky is the limit with your imagination. So psychedelic strip club, cabaret. That's definitely a possibility. If you want to volunteer to be the stripper, we can just test it out with you and just go from there, maybe.
No, I don't want to volunteer to be a stripper, but I would like to volunteer to maybe sort of maybe one of my parties have it as a strip club or like burlesque. Yeah, not necessarily stripping, but like some performers maybe in there.
Yeah. Performance is one thing that we haven't really done much of. Last night there was people doing lead spinning, which is really cool. It is possible to do fire inside the dome, but obviously it's going to get a bit hot. It is fireproof, but yeah, so there's some considerations in there. But a performance space is definitely one option as well. Yeah. For sure.
Like pole dancing, that would be pole dancing performances. That would be like perfect, I reckon.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, it's definitely something that has been mentioned and definitely something that has been considered for sure.
Well, thanks you guys for talking to me. I'm really loving this cinema. Have been to I've experienced 3 of them now at the latest Doofs, and I'm always there loving it. So thank you once again. All the best with this project, and looking forward to enjoying your dome in the months and years to come.
Yeah, thanks, man. Yeah, you have been one of our #1 customers, actually, which is funny. I'll always come in there like 4 in the morning. You'll be just sitting there, just watching like Shrek or something, just completely zoned out. Yeah.
Yeah. That happened at Tribe actually. It was 3 o'clock in the morning. I walked in and you were there just dozing on your own, just looking comfortable as hell. Yeah.
Loving it. Thank you, and thanks everyone for watching, and make sure you visit the dome if you see it at your next doof. All the best.